Good evening. Today, we examine a question that continues to divide public opinion in the United States and beyond. Do you approve of President Donald Trump's job performance? This question has been asked repeatedly through opinion polls, media debates, and political discussions, both during and after Donald Trump's presidency. The answers reveal a deeply polarized nation, where approval often depends on political beliefs, economic conditions, and views on leadership style. Donald Trump served as the 45th President of the United States, and from the very beginning of his term, his leadership sparked intense reactions. Supporters praised him as a strong, unconventional leader who challenged the political establishment. Critics, however, questioned his approach to governance, communication style, and handling of national and global issues. One of the strongest factors influencing approval of President Trump's job performance was the economy. Before major global disruptions, unemployment rates in the United States fell to historic lows, and many businesses experienced growth. Supporters argued that tax cuts, deregulation, and a pro-business agenda helped boost economic confidence. For many Americans, this economic performance translated directly into approval. However, others argued that economic growth was a continuation of previous trends and not solely the result of Trump's policies. Critics also raised concerns about income inequality and long-term economic stability, questioning whether the benefits were evenly distributed across society. Another major area shaping public opinion was immigration policy. President Trump took a firm stance on border security, emphasizing the construction of a border wall and stricter immigration enforcement. Supporters viewed this as a necessary step to protect national security and American jobs. They felt his policies finally addressed long-standing concerns that previous administrations had ignored.
On the other hand, opponents criticized these policies as harsh and divisive. Images and reports related to family separations and immigration bans led many Americans and international observers to disapprove of his approach, impacting overall job approval ratings. Foreign policy also played a significant role. President Trump adopted an America First strategy, renegotiating trade agreements, pressuring NATO allies to increase defense spending, and taking a tough stance on China. Supporters believed this approach strengthened U.S. interests and reduced unfair trade practices. Critics, however, argued that this strategy strained relationships with traditional allies and created uncertainty in global diplomacy. Decisions regarding international agreements and climate commitments further influenced public perception of his leadership on the world stage. Perhaps one of the most influential factors affecting approval was President Trump's communication style. His frequent use of social media, especially direct and unfiltered messages, was seen by supporters as honest and refreshing. They felt he spoke directly to the people without political filters. At the same time, critics believed this communication style was inflammatory and contributed to political division. Controversial statements often dominated news cycles, sometimes overshadowing policy achievements and lowering approval among undecided voters. Public approval of President Trump's job performance also varied sharply along party lines. Republican voters consistently showed high approval, while Democratic voters largely disapproved. Independent voters often shifted their views depending on current events, economic conditions, and national crises. In conclusion, the question, "Do you approve of President Trump's job performance?" does not have a single simple answer. Approval depends on which issues matter most to the individual voter: economic growth, immigration, foreign policy, leadership style, or national unity. President Trump's time in office left a lasting impact on American politics, reshaping political conversations and voter engagement. Whether viewed positively or negatively, his presidency remains one of the most discussed and debated in modern U.S. history. As public opinion continues to evolve, this question remains a powerful reflection of a divided political landscape and a reminder of how leadership is judged differently across communities, parties, and perspectives.